Okay, so we're on a roll here. I just made a video. I'm making another one. This one's going to be brief. I want to talk about elders. I want to talk about the elders that have been on this path for decades. If you were born in the 30s, in the 40s, okay, and you have been on this path for decades, if you know any of them that have in their own way, it's not going to look exactly like your path if you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, because we have the um, socially engineered, very much engineered generation gap. It's not real, it's all holography. Um, there's going to be some perspectives that you may have an understanding that another generation is sort of locked in based on that programming, but because you are coming in a different time, you didn't get locked in it, you can see through it. Okay. Not allowing those types of potential divisions to create the idea or conceptual understanding that um, we are not connected and in alignment. Okay. There are so many elders here now that I've heard the phrase failed elder. There's this judgment attached to the adjective failed, because for all we know, in terms of their path here, like everything that was meant to be accomplished was accomplished. Even if we're talking about your parents or someone like that, a caregiver to you that helped activate you in some way, right? So there's like a judgment, there's presuppositions, there's assumptions there with the term failed elder. But I don't know, I've been thinking today like another phrase to give this concept. um an elder who sort of got locked in the material world, addicted to pharmaceuticals, mainstream media, you know political identifications, religious identifications, whatever constructs, whatever holographies that they got sucked into. But even beyond that, sort of at some point, a stuntedness with consciousness expansion, with growth, with evolution, with change, an inverted understanding of what love is, um, fear leading to the point where they sort of lost themselves, right? Um, really doing our best to lead with compassion and understanding. I think that mercy maybe is a good word here. If you are on the consciousness path and you are doing this inner work and you are awakening, we need to move from this sort of predator prey dynamic narrative. Or we're just going to keep pulling that in. We need to vibrate this stuff higher. We need to move higher with this. It needs to be you. It needs to be me. We need to be the brave ones. We need to be the ones who embody that we are safe to do this. And I highly suggest working with your energy centers to do this, embodying, um, um, you know, crone energy and masculine energy. So root work meditation, um, sacral meditations, bringing the root energy, bringing the earth energy up through the root into your sacral to calm your emotional waters, to wrap them in steadiness, centeredness, safety, moving that up into your solar plexus and leading from that, right? Moving that up into the heart space. And in the heart space, you've brought down crown and third eye. Okay, you're going to bring in those balanced masculine air sword energies, and also in terms of the solar plexus as well, your power is going to be balanced in a place of I'm in power and alignment with love, as opposed to I'm in my power and alignment with fear, right? Which is going to look like that. I'm going to burn all this shit down because I see stuff I don't like. I see stuff that's not love. And I'm just going to burn y'all down and I'm going to tell you all how much you suck and all of that. Okay. So bringing the upper chakras down as well. It meets in the heart space, right? That's where spirit meets matter. That's the portal, and then leading from that heart space. And I know I make it sound simple. It takes a lot of work. It takes intention. It takes meditation. It takes work. Okay. But I think that if we are blessed enough, for lack of a better word, to be on the consciousness path, to be on this awakening path, we can have some mercy. And so in terms of, failed elders, I don't like the term, but we're going with that for the sake of conversation. What can we do in this space? Okay. It's really gross what's happening on so many levels with elders, the nursing home situations. It's not cool, you guys. It's not supposed to be this way. It's not supposed to be this way. And a lot of us have been abused, wounded, so wounded by elders that were in our life. And I'm not saying that you have to, do anything that is in alignment with your free will choices, okay? No, it's the opposite. It's all about free will choices. But I'm just urging all of us to start to talk about this, to start to think about this. How can we move into our heart spaces with this? What can be done on a collective level here in the West, where we are honoring love in some way and understanding from that bird's eye view perspective and from a heart space, that no one really is to blame here. Everyone is an outcome. All of our minds, our brains are outcomes of the holography here. Okay. And believe me, I did not used to be in this space. I was not here for a long time. For a long time, I was very angry. I was very bitter, self-protective. It's part of the path. So if that's where you are right now, give yourself compassion and be very gentle with yourself. It's okay. But just plant a seed. Because I promise that when you are in alignment with your heart as well, the truth of your powerful source being, source stream self, it's going to feel much better to you. That's where you're going to be in your power. That's where you are going to come in, your individuation, not this holography that's weighing you down, pulling you down, pulling you down. So that's what I wanted to say about the failed elders. And then also, I just wanted to pay homage to elders who literally, and I actually work with a couple, have been aware, have had awareness, have been moving from higher consciousness, knowing for freaking decades. I'm talking in the 50s, like I mean, and the felt loneliness and isolation for them on this path for decades, as they were surrounded by construct, more so than we are now. I mean, there's so much happening now. There's so much happening now, you guys. The awareness has just exploded. There's all different layers and levels to that, right? Because there's a lot of traps on the path. So a lot of people have dipped down and sort of gone, I'm going to go over here. That's okay. Hold space for that. That's okay. We all have to navigate this path the way that we navigate it. But I guess really this is a message for our elders. And I'm 46 years old. I ain't no spring chicken. But I'm talking about, those in their 70s, those in their 80s, maybe even 90s, who either got crushed or kept plugging along inside of their knowing and kept growing and expanding, even though everything was pushing against them. Look around you, who's around you? What elders are around you that could use just a kind word, some support, some seeing, anything, no matter where they are along that spectrum of energy. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there today. as well as my last lengthier video, and I am sending so much love.